everybody, thanks for coming in. Okay, so I'm market prep today, but I had my bag that I take to markets with me, and it was really kind of shameful because everything in there was loose and kind of all got tangled. And I was just trying to look for my 5 millimeter hook, which was in that bag, and so I was like, I kind of got into this thing where once I pull everything out, that it was all just one big mass of tangled yarn. So now I'm just kind of balling up yarn just a smidgen. So just hang with me while I am doing this. But I did get 7 bees made in total, and I finished them up today. I tried recording a video for them, and it's like not good. It's not a video, but I can take snippets from it and make shorts with it and stuff like that, so I think it would be fine. But I still have to learn how to edit it, and I was like trying to figure out how to do it on my phone. Then I was like, okay, how do I edit this on my phone? I couldn't figure it out. Not without an app. And um, so I was like, oh, okay, I can do it on TikTok. I can edit it on TikTok, get the way that I want it. But that was eating up my time for crocheting, and I was like, I really, what do I need to do more right now? And I was like, yeah, I need more inventory. So I really need to work on the inventory as opposed to working on a video. And tonight, maybe later on this evening, when I'm ready to settle down for the night, and I'm just too tired to crochet, I will sit there and I'll try to edit my video. Um, you know, that's probably the best option. And that's probably what I should be doing, is I should be crocheting during the day whenever I can, and then at night maybe I should be editing instead of crocheting, because when I get sleepy, or when I'm just kind of like to that point where after I eat dinner, it's like movie and crochet time, and then after the movie, it's like I gotta go do dishes, and then it's just like maybe I should just dedicate that time afterwards to just like video editing. So maybe that's just the best option for me in general. Okay, so see, I've got this nice little wad of yarn that I'm working on. I like my immediate area right here to my right is just full of yarn. But again, I got the bees made, and so they've got the embellishments. I've got the little blusher on, got their little smiles on, looking super cute. Got 7 of these. I didn't have any more bees. They were just kind of basically gone, which is good because I'm glad I sold them down. I worked them down. So that's a good thing. It's a goal. I really don't have any little baby turtles. I've got like maybe a couple, and I just kind of need some more little baby turtles. So that's what I'm going to work on today. Um, what I really want to work on is not available at my hands pattern wise, because um, I need to have these written down in a book, but they're actually on my computer. I don't like computer printouts for some reason. I don't use them as well. I like handwriting them in the composition book, and I think it seems to be better that way. And I can take these composition books anywhere that I go. So I've got, timed patterns 1 and 2, and I use those patterns the most in these different composition books. And so I need to start to move on to composition book number 3, timed patterns, and the ones that I use the most. And I think that's going to be the best option. Let's see. Hello, how are you? My day's been good. Thank you for asking. Um, so, yes, I'm almost done with this. I'm pretty good at unraveling or untangling yarn. I've done it like a bazillion times. I need to take my ball winder and wind it up into a cake. That's what I need to do. But I have time to do it? No, I don't. It's been a crazy week. I had to take my roommate to the doctor yesterday. That ate half my day, half my crochet time. But I still did get about two. No, I made 2 bees yesterday. Three bees. And then I made my last bee this morning while I was trying to film it. So I got it done. Got her done. Got her done. But I have 7, so that's good. That's gonna fill up my table. It's looking a little sparse. Um, so I need to start working on some stuff. I need something different, you know. Um, so I always try to incorporate new things. I do have some base items that I have all the time. So the baby turtles are becoming a base. The bees are coming a base. I gotta have some kind of frog of some sort, and that's a really good base item too. Little fat frogs, um, and I give them like a little booty, and they're super cute. I've only got a couple left, but I made them in this super dark green velvet yarn. It was Bernat velvet, and I guess it was just they're just really super dark green, and it's a nice green, but for these frogs, it's way green. It's like super green. And I'm thinking maybe I should do the frogs in like this lime green. Uh, where is, I guess I've got several skeins of it. It looks lime green, but it's actually called, what's it called? Do. I got so many different shades of green. It's not funny. Glowworm. Okay, so it's like this super duper bright green. It's almost fluorescent, but a part of me is like, you know, save some of it for Halloween or something like that. But you know what? Though I can always experiment with that. So I need to start thinking Halloween and fall right now. I need to get over the hump of 4th of July, and then we're going to go right into Halloween. 4th of July, I'm going to start making like popsicle holders, cozies, like ice cream cozies. What I'm talking about, like, are, for like the pints. So just, and you can do that with scrap yarn. You can do that with whatever. More market bags. I'm trying to think what else I can do with, I have just so many different things I can start making. Back to school crochet, I don't know what I would do for that. I guess I can make another backpack bee, but I'm not sure. So I don't know if I want to do it or not. But I also need to make some mini bee keychains and some other minis for my claw machine. And I specifically got yarn to make the little mini chickens, which I don't have written down in my books. I have them written down on my computer. My computer's being borrowed or used right now. Another member of the household. So we have to take turns. We take turns, and I generously take turns with everybody. It's the only computer we have. I don't have a laptop. It's just a regular old PC, which is fine with me. I'm old school like that. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. But I'm almost done with all this, and I can crank out some baby turtles. This is not my pattern. This is a free pattern I found on Instagram. It's made by LMS Arts or LS Art or something like that. I have it written down over here in the book. So I'm almost done balling this up. And this is lovely orange. I'm probably going to do a couple of baby turtles in the orange. I'm just trying to using up what I got. But all my baby turtles are going to be this green color, the glowworm color. I have this baby turtle head that has been sitting in my project bag for like a couple of months now. So every time I open up my little project bag, he's like staring at me. So I already have his head. So I'm like, you know what? This is what I need to work on because he's just lingering inside of my thing. So I think he's trying to tell me you need to make more of me and my friends. Okay, so all right. Anything else down here? All my keychains. Oh, I did make another Ankylosaurus Dino Nugget, and this is with that Big Twist plush. And I was watching a bunch of videos on YouTube about Michael's acquiring Joanne's and Big Twist and their intellectual property and things like that. So I'm hearing two different things. Okay. Also was watching some of it on TikTok too. So from what I understand, Michael's is going to carry some Big Twist, not all Big Twist, and that Hirschner's is going to carry more of the Big Twist. So I don't know, but I've also heard that, like, they're saying that Hirschner's was going to carry Big Twist, but now Michael's is going to carry it and take away the Big Twist away from Hirschner's. So that's the impression that I got too. I don't know what's real. I don't know what's the true thing that's going to happen. So I don't know. I've heard that Hirschner's is going to carry all of the Big Twist with more colors and things like that. And now I've heard that Michael's is going to carry Big Twist, but they're only going to carry like 4 different lines. And then I heard that Michael's is getting rid of their Sweet Snuggles yarn and their Home Chenille yarn. That they're going to get rid of it. And I was like, what? No. I know I badmouthed this the other day, but I don't want to, because I know it's like variety. We don't want to be stuck in like the 70s. Thing that was available was, Red Heart Super Saver, and Lion Brand. That was the only thing that was available like back then. Maybe even in the 80s. It was awful. We only had so much. So like, no, we want the variety. We want the opportunity to explore colors and textures, So anyway, getting back to the meat and potatoes of my video, I'm like throwing yarn in different places. Oh, this is a cute little hat I made for an Easter rabbit, and I made up this little hat, but the Easter rabbit is the same as, is it Crochet Grove? I think it is Crochet Grove rabbit. And I was going to make it a female Easter rabbit, and I was going to give it a ruffle hat, and I was going to put it in a little overall. It was a yarn that was shedding. I could crochet with it, but when it came to sewing on the ears, which you have to sew on the ears for this one, it wouldn't let me sew at all. Like, it was just totally flaking off and everything. I couldn't pull the yarn through the head to sew on the ears, and I was like, what gives? Like, what is the problem with this yarn? So I don't know. I don't remember what brand it is, and I can't tell you. I don't think it's Bernat Baby Blanket. I think it's another brand, but it's like not great yarn. And so I've been looking at videos on how to attach yarn body parts, but you can use it with like maybe some DK weight yarn or some worsted weight yarn. And because of the fuzziness of the chenille yarn, it will hide the DK or the worsted weight. So I'm just thinking, like, okay, I'll do that. And then I'll just have it ready, later on. But right now it's on the back burner. But that was in my bag. It's still in my bag. It's been in my bag since before Easter. Like I was working on it at the market, and I got to that stopping point where I was trying to sew on the ears, and it just was not going to happen. It just wasn't going to work for me. But sometimes it's like that. Hmm. Hey, how are you doing? Sorry. I gotta read the chat, so I gotta go forward and read the chat. So, what do I do for a living? I'm actually a professional crocheter. So, I actually am on disability. I'm legally blind. So, legal blindness, my issue is it's not the actual eye, it's my optic nerve. So, the optic nerve is what sends from the eye to the brain, the message from the eye to the brain. It's underdeveloped. So I don't get 100% of the message to the brain. So when I see things, it I just don't see it as clearly as far away. Um, so I probably can see kind of clear, maybe about 4 feet away from me. And then if it's further, then I'll have to kind of get closer to see what it says. But my brain fills in a lot of different things. Like I was trying to explain to my roommate, like why I'm like how my blindness affects me. And I told her, I said, look, um, I know that there's pictures over there on my bookshelf, and I see that they're pictures of people, but I can't tell who the people are. I can't tell what their facial features are. I can see their outline, I can see their color, I can see that it's there, but I just can't make out the details. So that's that kind of thing, like I can't see maybe the writing. I know that it's writing because my brain recognizes that it is writing, but I can't see what letters that they are. So it's that kind of concept. It's like it's just a distance type of thing. It's like something is in the distance. You can kind of make out that like well that looks like that's possibly a car, but you can't tell how far away that it is, what kind of make and model that the car is. You just know that it's a vehicle. So it's that kind of concept. Um, so I was just trying to explain to like this is how my blindness is. I can see up close, but now also with my eyes aging, like I have to like I can't. I used to be able to read without my glasses on and read up close. I can't do that anymore because my eyes have actually started to age on top of being blind. So now it's like double whammy, and I'm like, oh, thank you, God. Thank you for making it harder the older that I get. I'm like, I don't need this. But working with yarn and thread, it's challenging sometimes, but it's not impossible, and I do it. And I've done it for quite a while, so for a few years, so I can do it. But to help supplement my disability, which is almost nothing, um, I I get enough disability in to cover my mortgage. That's it. Everything else is like how I eat, how I pay my bills. Um, I have to either borrow the money, or I have to earn the money, and that's how it is. So I do have one roommate who does give me some money that pays for the electric and the gas and the water bill. And then if there's a little bit extra, it helps pay for my phone bill, my internet, my subscriptions for, TV and things like that. So this is what I do. This is my job. So I've been selling at markets. I need to get to that point to where I need to do a pattern writing and try to sell my patterns because that becomes a passive income. And I keep saying that, but I have yet to do it. It's hard to be a entrepreneur and work from home and to stay motivated. And I think a lot of people can sympathize and empathize with this because during lockdown we were all at home, and it was hard to stay motivated. So this is my challenge, is a lot to stay motivated, to stay on top of things, especially at home, because there's 1,002 distractions here. It's like I have to get up and I have to go change over the laundry. I have to get up and go mow the lawn. I have to go do the dishes. I have to go to the grocery store. And it's just everyday life, but to stay motivated and not let everyday life to distract me from staying on top of my crochet business. It's so easy to be distracted, or I will take too long watching, you know, social media, or watching Netflix or something like that. So a lot of you allow distractions to hit you on a regular basis, or I allow myself to be hit with a lot of distractions. Um, so it's hard. This is the struggle that I am facing. Some people have better self discipline and then they can separate it. I'm having a little bit of a different time separating it. So I to try to find time to really dedicate to crocheting. Like I used to be able to crochet like for hours upon hours. Recently, with the newer roommate who needs a lot more of my attention, um, because she's disabled. She had a couple of strokes, so she requires a lot of my attention. So it's harder for me to dedicate a lot of time to uh, doing crochet business. So a lot of it has been like the social media aspect of it has been really put on the back burner. I don't do lives as much. I used to do a live every day. I don't do lives every day anymore. I've used to do shorts and videos all the time. That has not been on the forefront of anything lately. It takes a lot of time. It's a lot of effort to find something, and for people who know how to work the technology, they can go boop boop boop, and they're done. For me, it takes me a little bit of time because I did not grow up into this technology. It's constantly changing. There's new formats. There's new apps. The way the process in which things are done are just so different. And then by the time I learn it, it's like, oh, we've updated it. And I'm like, really? Come on. I just got used to using this where I can go boop, 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 and I'm done. And now you're changing it, and then I gotta go, crap. I need to write down the steps. you know? So it just takes time. It's learning. It's not impossible. I'm just complaining and belly aching. But in general, this is what I do. Like I make and I sell crochet. I'm trying to change it up a little bit to keep it interesting for myself. It's not that I don't like making the little crochet plushies and things like that. I do, but my true love is making crochet garments, hats, shawls, things like that. I love that type of stuff, but it takes longer and the price point's higher. The crochet plushies are quick and they're fast and they sell very well for me. So, and also though, but I want to change up like, my line and trying to figure out and then um, what sells well and what doesn't. But also when I have other items out there, it also shows the scope of my ability that a lot of people when they sell stuff at markets they niche it down, which is fine, but I also want to show everybody else like, look, I am capable of doing. The only thing I do have a stipulation on is I don't make blankets. No, I'm not doing that. I hate making blankets. They take forever. I don't like it. I've tried making blankets for people and I've just come to that conclusion. I do not like making them. I will make them for myself and for my family, but not for money. Forget it. It is just not my thing. I might do like one style of blanket, like the hand knitted blankets, what I'm talking about, with the really thick chunky yarn like this thick. I might make some of those because they're fast. But I really just don't want to make a blanket. Like I'm interested in like those really super chunky blankets, but nothing like made out of, out of yarn, that thinner yarn. So forget about it. I like the idea of it, but once I start doing it, it's so long and it takes so much time. And I was like, you know what? I will outsource that crap out. I got a friend who knows how to do all that stuff. So I will outsource it. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you some business. Give me a card. Give me some cards and I will hand out your cards if somebody wants to buy a blanket from you. And there are some crocheters out there who are just blanket makers. It's all that they do. And that's fine. That is their jam. That is A-okay. You keep doing it. So, anyway. Let me get back to turtles. Turtle. Alright, so I already got the head. Alright. I need to do the shell. Okay, so I don't recall what colors I have left. I want to say I have a blue and orange left, or it could be a yellow, but I'm not sure. So let's make it some blue. Let's make some blue. Oops. Trying to get a better position here. Okay. So the blue that I could do, now this is this really bright blue, and I don't remember the color name of the colorway, but this is Big Twist Posh. But I have this other blue, so it's a lighter, like like a teal blue. So I have some of that over there available. So maybe I should do both blues. So since I got this one in my hand, I will do a shell with this blue. Okay. But yeah, lmsart.co is the name of the creator for this turtle, and it's on Instagram. It's a free pattern on Instagram. It's a very popular pattern. A lot of people use it. I watched another video here on YouTube, and somebody, said, oh, this is the pattern I'm using, and they said it's on Instagram. And I think this is the pattern that took me to Instagram and started using it more for patterns. So there's a boatload of free patterns on Instagram. And then once you get the algorithm knowing what you're looking for, then it will start introducing more patterns to you along those lines. But yeah, there's like a boatload of free patterns on Instagram, especially minis, because a lot of people do free patterns for like a lot of the mini things, and it's just kind of like right up my alley. I need more minis. And minis are great because you can turn them into a keychain, or if they're really, really small, you can make them into earrings, or you can, I put them in my claw machine, so yeah. I need to make some patterns for my claw machine and do as my claw machine pattern bundle, and that's probably what I should do. I need to do that. I had made a blueberry. Blueberries are so easy to figure out, but I think it would be fun to do that and just have like a little pattern bundle of like little claw machine items. So I needed to do that. So anyway, all right. Okay. 6 single crochet in a magic ring, and then I'm going up to an increase to 12, increase up to 18, and then 4 through 5 is 18, which is 2 rounds. Okay, that should be pretty easy to remember how to do. And since I am talking, I'm going to grab my stitch markers. Sometimes I don't use stitch markers. I don't feel like I need to sometimes. If it's just me by myself, being quiet, and I don't need a stitch marker. But if I'm talking and stitching, I sometimes need to keep track. Okay. So I do the chain 2 method. Some people like to do the magic ring. And mainly the reason why I like to do the chain 2 method as opposed to magic ring, I find that especially if you're using the chenille yarns, especially the ones that flake, are just really hard to do magic ring, and I just want to go fast. And to me, this works out well. Just works for me. And I just snap my yarn, which is what I did not want to do. Okay, let me just redo this. Because I was trying to tighten it up and it snapped. I pulled it the wrong way. Okay. But I know that for chenille yarns over at Michael's, they're only going to carry the Big Twist Posh and the teddy bear. And those are the two I like the most. So I don't know if how this is going to work out for Michael's and Big Twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't go to Michael's that often. I mean, it's not that they don't have good deals, and sometimes they do. But I just really don't go there that often. I got a friend of mine who is a rug maker, and he loves to go to Michael's. But he uses certain yarns for his rugs. Like he will use like worsted weight yarn, and I think he just likes Red Heart. That's the impression I get. He's giving me some yarn. He's like, I don't like this yarn, I don't like that yarn. It doesn't work good in my rug machine, my rug gun. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. I'll figure something out with that. Like I can make some keychains with that. Or I can make a hat with that. Okay. So that is 12, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay. And then we're going to increase up to 18. I'm starting to get a little hungry. So, my roommate, my first original roommate, is vegetarian. And then we went to the doctor yesterday, and the doctor told my second roommate, you have to be on fruits, vegetables, and water only because she's, overweight and she's in poor health, And I was like, really? Wow. I'm already kind of doing that, which makes it so much easier on me because then instead of cooking 2 different types of meals, I can just make one meal for everybody. And that's great because I'm actually to the point where I don't want to eat too much meat right now. I want to eat occasional meat, and I really want to eat more veg. And I think that's going to be better for me, personally. I'll feel better. I mean, I love veggies anyway. So, that works out. It'll be less stressful for me because, like, the other day, like, I was trying to cook 2 different protein sources for dinner, So I was making something made out of lentils, and then I was trying to make some chicken. And the chicken is so much faster than making something with lentils. Sorry, I got itchy face. But I tell you what, I enjoy the lentil stuff a whole lot more than I enjoy the actual chicken. I'm so tired of eating chicken. I'm like, just chicken is affordable, but I just get tired of eating chicken. And I can't afford beef sometimes. And I don't like ground beef. Ground beef is kind of gross. I like it in a hamburger, but you know, other things made out of ground beef, I'm just not particularly fond of it. I do like ground turkey though, and I will do some ground turkey things. Like I have a really good ground turkey taco meat recipe that I found online. It's pretty dang good. I really like it. Okay, so we're going two rounds of 18. And turkey's actually really high in protein, so it's really nice about that. And you can, make so many different things with ground turkey. You definitely can treat it just as well as beef. Um, I will make like ground turkey sausage patties, and it's super easy to make and it's tasty. I do like those. So it's a great alternative for pork as well. But if you want a really good alternative for pork, get some ground chicken. Ground chicken is very versatile and it's really good. Um, you can I see it more and more in stores nowadays. Is ground chicken, and that I can turn that into anything that it can replace pork in any recipe, in my opinion. So, all right. So this is how many rows again? Okay, so this be 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay! See, that was quick. That was super quick. Okay, so my next round is going to be front loop only, 18 single crochet. And that's it. That's it for the shell. It's like virtually almost done. So I'm going to go front loop only in this next round. And then I'm going to change back to body color. And a lot of I've seen where people they'll do this in batches. I don't like to do batches, and the reason why I don't like to do batches because I'm really bad about having um, pieces and not finishing out the pieces. So I'd rather just make it one at a time, just personally speaking. That way, like again, like I had like this little turtle head and just lingering. I do have some body pieces for some cupcake cuties, which is Claire the Crochet Lady's pattern, and they are very, very cute. Um, and they're like little dolls that the cupcake part folds down, and it forms a skirt, and there's like the doll on the inside, and then their hair or the top of their head is like the frosting, and it swirls up. It's really cute pattern. I really like that pattern. I need to make it for summer. So I had ice cream cute. She has ice cream cuties and cupcake cuties. They're basically the same thing, except the top is a little bit different. And last year I did ice cream cuties, and I made like a variety of different flavors. I had Rocky Road, mint chocolate chip, strawberry, um, bubblegum, and I said Rocky Road, strawberry, mint chocolate chip, bubblegum. Oh, and cookies and cream. And that one was my favorite, the cookies and cream, because I had made like a little chocolate sandwich cookie on top of its head. It was so cute. It was by far one of the cutest things I've ever made. I was very pleased with it. One of my favorite things I've ever made. Okay, so I know I've got a loose green here somewhere. Oh, I did. I had a green. Is it down here? Like it was like a half ball of green. No, that's the wrong type of yarn. That's not it. Maybe I'm thinking it was that. Well, maybe not. Okay, I'm gonna use this one. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna use this fresh new one of green. Of this glowworm. I thought I had one lingering. Okay. Glowworm. Now I gotta find the start. Sometimes I gotta do it like this. Where's the beginning? Oh, that's at the beginning. No. Can't find the beginning of the yarn. There it is. I think. Is that it? Yeah, that was it. It was really down in there. Okay. So let's untangle this a little bit. Get this all situated. Okay, so. I'll show you another good thing that I know. That was Cat in a Hat, by the way. And I had to read a lot of Cat in a Hat when I was raising my kid and my nephews. Okay, so just double checking here. Okay, so changing the body color. Okay, so I gotta join the head. Send your yarn and hook into the stitch and then the head. And then the back loop of the shell. Slip stitch into the corner of the previous stitch. Eliminates a hole forming on the tail. Okay. So, okay, the back loop is round 6, join the head, 3 single crochet, and then bobble. Okay. Alright, I got it. Okay, so so then this is, I'm joining the head, that's the top of the head, so I need to do that upside down. Okay. Take that stitch marker out. Do, 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 do. 2 and 3. Okay. So my head is in there. Yay! Okay. Now I'm going to do a bobble. 1, 2, 3. Is that a 3 bobble or 4 bobble? Doesn't tell me. Or I didn't write it down. Because maybe I assumed that's what a bobble would be. What I know what it would be. You know what? I'm going to do 4. I'm going to be crazy and just do 4. Okay. So I'm going to do the 4 half double crochet bobble. Okay. And then I do 3 single crochet again. Bobble, 3 single crochet. Yes. Then another bobble for the back leg. Okay. And then I make the tail. Okay. One, 2, and 3. Two, 3, and 4. Okay. And then 3 single crochet, creating the tail, chain 3. Do 2 single crochet, slip stitch into the corner of the last single crochet. Okay. One, 2, 3. Okay, and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And 2 single crochet down the chain. And then we're gonna do. Did you say slip stitch or was that a single crochet? Slip stitch. Okay. And it's 2 single crochet and then a bobble, 3 single crochet bobble. Okay. Two, 3, 4. Get that out of my mouth. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do a bobble. But I wonder if that's going to be 18. So let me go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Double check. Hold on. Let me recount. 1, 2, 3. That's the bobble. It's 4. 5, 6, 7. It's in between. Bobble is 8. 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, this will be the 18th stitch. Okay, and now okay, then single decrease times 6 to 12. Okay. decrease. Now I'm going to put my stitch marker in. Single, and then we're almost done. I mean, we're in the home stretch. Like, after I do this round of single crochet and a decrease, I'm going to stuff them. I'll do my final round, and it'll be done. Lemon, you know, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then that's going to be the decrease right there around the tail. Oh, the stitches are not lining up. Why are they not lining up, Jamie? I don't know. Okay. So, single, that's a decrease, single, decrease, single, decrease. It's always right around the tail that kind of throws. Okay, so that's the decrease. This is single. Oh, right here. And you know, if I'm going to do a decrease around like a portion that sticks out like the tail would, then I just do a standard decrease instead of trying to do an invisible decrease, because it's just so much more difficult. Because when you do invisible decreases, then you have to go into the front loops only, where how would you be able to stick out the tail if you're doing front loops only? So you just have to do a standard decrease that way. Okay, so decrease single. And sometimes I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to place my hook, especially when you've got like, see how it kind of sticks up right here? So right around here, the stitches kind of get a little confusing. So what I'll do is I'll go from my front and work, and then mentally work it back. So I know that these two stitches right here are going to be a decrease, and this one's going to be a regular single crochet. So it kind of helps me think about like, okay, what stitch is going to be my next placement for my hook if I work it backwards. So sometimes I have to do that just to make sure that I have the right placement, especially if it's just, you know, you don't have to worry about it, you know, being too long of a thing, you know, if it's something as small, you know, that I can figure it out. So that'd be a decrease, single crochet, that would be decrease, single crochet. So I would put my decrease right here. So my decrease stitch right here. Okay. There we go. And see, that's going to work out. And then the rest of my stitches will be the invisible decrease. Okay. So now I'm going to work his little legs out, because they had the tendency to be worked on the inside. So I just kind of poke out his little legs, which are the little puff stitches. So there we go. See it? And he's almost done. Super fast pattern. I probably make these in about 20 minutes, give or take. And that's pretty quick, in my opinion. I think at this point, if I want to secure the center of the shell, this is where I'm going to secure it before I start stuffing. I could have also secured it in the last round too, before the hole got too small. But I want to go ahead and do that right now before I start stuffing. And then, sometimes I just do a simple little knot for the securing. And then there we go. That was easy. And then also on the inside, I want to tie where my shell and my body begin. So there's the two beginning tails for those. So I want to tie those together to make sure that they are secure. And also where the tail for the head, I also might want to go ahead and try to tack my head up too. For these, they have the tendencies to be a little tipsy because sometimes the weight of the head disperses, and so it kind of makes them tip forward. So what I do is I take the tail that the head is on and I make it just a little bit longer, and then I tack that up through the shell, and it helps it to stand up a little bit better. What am I getting? I'm getting something. I was thinking about getting something, but oh yeah, scissors, because I need to cut my shell yarn. Where's my scissors? Scissors, where are you? You were here just a minute ago. I don't want to knock that off. That would be no bueno. There they are. I got a mess on my desk. Okay. So I think that's the tail for the head. And I'm going to snip this off. Tie that in on the inside. Make sure it's secure. I just do a double knot. That's all that it needs. Okay. So at this point, before I stuff, or maybe even after I stuff, I'll go ahead and I can tack the head up, because otherwise it's just going to be sticking down and it's just going to be wobbly like that, and that's fine. If you want it to be wobbly like that, it can be fine. But if you want the heads to stick up, which I like to do, I think it's very classic turtle looking, because you see turtles on a log out in the wild, and they have their little heads sticking up like that. So I think it's a lot cuter as opposed to just being a little waggy head. So I think it's just better if I just tack it up. But I kind of like having the filling already inside, so when I do tack it in, that it will have something a little bit more substantial to hold it up. But either way, you can go either way. So I'm going to go ahead and try to pass my tail to the outside so I can go ahead and stuff it, and then when I'm weaving in all my ends, I can that part. Alarm. Okay. It's 2 o'clock. So let me go ahead and do that. Work it out, work it out. Okay, so now we can stuff it. Stuff it. And like in the past, usually I weigh up my stuffing. I think for this guy is only like 2 grams. It's not very many grams for stuffing. And it's really not that much. So let me look here. 3 grams. Oh, close. I was close. So anyway, and I will just stuff them in my polyfill bag so air gets stuffed in here. Not just, yarn tails. I mean, some people just save their yarn tails and stuff only with that. The only downside to that I don't like is when you go to weave in your ends, sometimes the yarn tails poke out through the holes. So that's the only downside to that. So Okay. And then I just want to make sure. I heard somebody on a podcast say, like, stuff it like a donut, you know? And then I just watched another video today about stuffing, and she was saying, like, make sure you, like, get your fingers in there and making sure that there are no negative spaces, that, you know, you stuff it out all the areas. And um, that's going to help you with a good shape. And then stuff it just a little bit right before you close it. Um, but we are almost done. We're about to do our final row, and then I'll just put more stuffing in there. Okay. And that will be all decreases. Do 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 do. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. For some reason that stitch is looking really funky. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And there's some of my hair. And my hair gets in stuff. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Is that right? That doesn't look right for some reason. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and that's 12. Okay. Alright. For some reason my stitches weren't looking right, and I think it was because the stitch marker was kind of pulling on it, making it look distorted. Okay. So, I'm going to do 1 decrease, 2 decrease, 3 decrease, 4 decrease, 5, and 6 decrease. Okay. Now, we're just going to put just a tiny bit more stuffing in here. Not crazy, just a little bit. And then if this hole is a little bit too hard to manage, I always... That's what I love about these these rubber handle hooks. These are great for grabbing the stuffing and pushing into your amigurumi. So, there we go. Okay. Now we're going to sew the hole closed. I like to do the front loop closing personally. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Woohoo! All right. And then from here, I'm going to weave in this end. I like to kind of weave in the end and make it to where this part is a little flatter. So it will stand up a little easier if I can help it. Let's go this way. So that way, so he's a little bit flatter on the bottom. So when he sits, he'll be a little bit more flatter. And then once his head's up, he'll be on more of a solid base. So he'll have more stability. It's like a little bit of a sculpting thing, I guess you could say. Okay. Then I will punch in my tails. And sometimes I like to use my scissors for that. Sometimes I'll use the end of my, the blunt end of my sewing needle. Okay. So there, that is his bottom on his inside. So he's kind of a little bit flatter. So you can see right here, it's not poking up. And now we're going to tack the head up. And let's see here, let's do this. And then what I will do, let me go work my yarn to where it's kind of centered below. And then I'm going to go through the neck. Then I'm going to go just inside the ridge right here on this shell. Okay, and then go back out through the neck. Okay, then I think I just went a little too low, so let me go back up a little higher into the neck, like that. See how it's a little bit higher than it was before? Let's go here, and then let's go a little bit into the shell, a little bit, and then go back, and then pass it. So it's kind of catching the shell a little bit, and it's going to pass it right through the underneath into the body. Okay, and then you can like position it just a little bit to where you can get it as high as you want them to be. Eyes look crooked. Anyway, so this is also a part of sculpting. Just getting that right position, and then you can, secure it. And then I will just kind of weave in my ends in different locations. So if they were to work out, that they won't be working out in the same spot, and it will still be kind of interlocked inside the body, so to say. And just be careful when you do that, because that can also cause a misshaping of the body if you pull it too tight. You don't want that to happen when you're trying to weave in your ends. Okay, he is done. This little guy is done. Now, if you wanted to, and I don't, but you can put a little smile on him if you wanted to, but his head's sticking up like that. And then if he sits flat, his head's sticking up. So on the back of my hand, otherwise he would be like leaning forward like that, but no, he's actually sitting flat right that. So there you go. And these are very popular. I sell these for about like $7, and because they're so little, and they're big enough to be put on a keychain. So, and I'll just attach the keychain. I've got some double jump rings. They look like a smaller version of the actual key ring, but they're smaller, and then you can kind of just weave them into around a stitch. I try to do about 2 stitches just to make sure it's attached really well. And unfortunately, I got gold colored ones, and I now need silver ones because now my new keychains are silver. So I gotta get silver ones too. Can I do that today and get them by tomorrow? I'll have to do it on Amazon and see if I can. But first, little turtle made. Turtle. And he's so cute, and he's so little. And a lot of people like just little mini baby turtles. That's what I call them. And that's really what they are. They're just mini baby turtle. And that's, so this is LMS Art pattern on Instagram. Find her. She's got lots of other really good patterns too. It's a good creator. So there we go. Little turtle. You got a cute little tail. Oh, that is a tail. He's so cute. And people just really like them. And I'll have like a basket of them, and I will sell them. And since they're have a low price point, I get a lot of little kids that like them, you know. And I think a lot of little kids like them because they're just small and they're big enough to put in their hand or in their pocket. They can put them in their bag or something, you know. So I think that's fun. It's like they can either hold it or they can, you know, make it into a keychain. And I just charge $1 more to make it into a keychain. And that seems to work out really well. Um, so that's the long and the short of it. Okay, well, I am starting to get a little bit of a sore throat from just talking. So I'm going to let you guys go. I want to say thanks for being here and just let me ramble and show you how I do things. And so I guess I'll see y'all next week. So next week I will do a market recap next Tuesday. That's my plan. So I'm going to do a market recap for the farmers market. I'm going to try to go live on TikTok tomorrow. So if you want to find me on TikTok, I'm going by my company's name, not by Jamie's Hooked. Jamie's Hooked is purely just the creator side of things. My TikTok is for business purposes mostly only. Maybe a little bit creator, but not too much. So my business name is Punky Chunky Creations, Punkie, and then Chunky is Chunkie Creations. So that is the name of my TikTok account. Follow me if you would like. I'm probably gonna go live tomorrow. There, I've only just recently started going lives on TikTok. Yesterday I did like a bee tutorial in a kind of weird way, but it's different there than it is here. It's just different, and it's fine. Um, it's just I have to learn how to deal with it a little bit differently. But anyway, thanks for being here. If you are watching the replay, I appreciate you being here and sticking to the end. And please give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed. And I hope y'all guys have it for now.